Good morning. Thank you for joining me for today's Facebook Live. My name is Tracy Held. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, in Australia, and this is my regular Sunday morning Facebook Live. Now, I'm not appearing on camera today just because it was really hot here yesterday and it's been raining all night, so it has cooled down, but I feel like I'm melting, so I don't think that I'm fit for public viewing today, so we're just going to focus on my card and not on my face. So sorry about that. I normally do like saying hello to you face to face, but it's not gonna work today. Now, this is the card that we're going to be making today. It's quite a fun card because when you open it, the flap actually flips over, so you have your flap, you can sit and play, carrying over, so it's going to open up that it flaps both ways. Now, all the measurements are in the description, and let's just have a very quick look at the products that I'm using. I have actually pulled out some older stamp sets today. So we're using Cheerful Daisies, and of course we have the matching dies. And then I'm using something fancy for the sentiment. Now, I love the sentiment. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. I may be a little bit behind in sending out some birthday cards. I did actually wish them happy birthday, so it's true I didn't forget the birthday, but I've just been a bit slack about sending the cards out. And the DSP that we're using, I'm just going to flip through this like really quickly because you have seen it before, I've used it quite a bit, is the, always get the name wrong, Splendid Autumn DSP. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to take my card base, and if I can find where I put my scoring instructions, we're going to score this. Sorry, I need to turn it the other way around so that I can see what I'm scoring. We're going to score this at 6 centimeters. And 14.9 centimeters. And if you're working in inches, that's going to be 2 1/4 and 5 1/2. Okay, and then we're going to turn this around and placing that at 2 1/2 centimeters, or if you're working in inches, it's going to be your 1 inch mark. We're going to cut from the side of the DSP, side of the cardstock to that first score line, and then flip it over, and we're doing the same thing at that 2 1/2 centimeters from that first score line to the edge. And then we want to remove those pieces that we've just cut. So you can do it with the scissors, but I'm going to do it with my trimmer. So placing that blade along the score line, I'm just cutting to where I've cut, and the same here. So if I haven't cut all the way, which I see I haven't on that one, that's fine. I'll cut that little bit off with the scissors, but for me it's easier to cut just a little bit because I have a problem with cutting straight, which I think you all know by now. Alright, so then we're going to fold along that score line, and then we're going to fold on this score line, and this one just fold backwards and forwards because we want it to move in both directions. Okay, now we're ready to decorate. So you may have gathered that as per usual I've changed the colors. So that one I used this, let's flap it open there, that piece of DSP, And for this one I'm using the one with the yellow daisies. And this has actually been sized so that you can get your two pieces of DSP there out of one piece of paper. And then obviously you need an extra piece for the inside. Now, sorry, probably should have stuck these before, but anyway, that's all right. We can just spend some time together and you can watch me sticking. Okay. All right, and then now these are going to stick, and I don't think it really matters which one you want. You can choose which one you want on the front and which one on the inside, but they both pretty similar. So one piece is going onto the front of the card over here, and the other one is going onto the inside. Hi Lynette, thank you for joining me again today. Okay, and then, okay, I just realized I don't have my piece of my mat. Alright, so it would look better with the mat, but I haven't cut that, so and now my glue doesn't want to come out. Okay, I thought that I checked everything so carefully to make sure that I had everything, but of course I forgot something. Alright, so we're going to put this piece of DSP in here. And I think I've actually even left the mat out of those instructions, but that's okay. I'll go back and add them in. Okay. And then let's just, while I'm doing all the boring sticky bits, let's just do this, and then I will decorate my fun pieces. And we've got most of the sticking done in advance. Alright, so we're going to put one there. One over there. Okay, so that's all our, most of our, let's not say all, but most of our sticking done. And now we need to do some stamping, so I've decided to be big and brave today, and I'm going to try and stamp my sentiment. I can't promise that I'm going to get it straight, but at least I've got two sides if I mess up. I think it's a little bit crooked. I'm going to try the other side, and then I'll just decide which one is actually okay. I'm happier with that one. And then we need to stamp our daisies. I just need something that I can actually stamp on. Now I have stamped and die cut my little daisies, but I'm going to stamp the daisies. I've got so much pieces of everything here that go onto the writing panel. So for this one I'm going to use copper clay for the outside. And I'm just moving the inks away because I don't want to tell you how many daisies I stamped for this one, because the one landed up dipped in green ink, and I don't know what I did with the other one, but yeah, we stamped a few of these daisies. That's okay. Right, and then just turning this upside down because it's easier for me to line it up with the little bits. So the fill-in And I hope I'm lining it up properly, but if it's not 100% lined up, which this one isn't, I noticed as I put it down. Okay, I was going to say it doesn't really matter because it is pretty forgiving, but that was way too far over. I may blame it on being on camera, but let's just try that again. Okay, never mind. Let me stamp it, because now that I'm not using it, I will get it perfectly right. So let's stamp it anyway, but clearly I am not using this piece, and I thought I should have an extra one, but I thought, no, I did this quite fine this morning. So no, when I made my sample, it was all really good, stamped nicely. Some of them were slightly off. Now watch. There we go. Perfect. Of course it is, because I messed it up. But okay, that's all right. I will just stamp another one and put it in once I'm finished here. And then I'm going to use the early espresso for the inside bit over there. And that I don't mind if it's slightly off. I just go and stamp another little bit, or it doesn't matter if there's that bit of white showing. And then I'm going to go and use Mossy Meadow. It's the most crazy thing, is that things will stamp beautifully when you're doing it by yourself, and as soon as you're showing somebody, then it messes up completely. Or try tie a bow on camera. Won't work, but I can do it perfectly fine every other time. Okay, so that's what should have happened, but didn't. But at least, hey, I have my sentiment bit, which is better. And then I'm going to just stamp some leaves in this corner. That corner is going to be completely covered up, so it doesn't matter. And I don't know if Rosie's on today, but if she's not, when she watches the replay, she's going to be screaming at me because I'm using Mossy Meadow. She hates Mossy Meadow. She says it's just a nothing color, but it's not my favorite green, but sometimes it just works with these more earthy tone papers. All right, then we're going to stick try and stick, if glue will come out, our piece on top. And I have another glue over here, so we're going to put, now just be careful when you're sticking your daisies, because you don't want the glue to go over the edge, and you don't want that daisy too far over the edge. And before I stick those, now you could have not used this crushed curry piece here and just stuck that mat directly on. For me, it's easier to line it up and get it straight if I've got the extra crushed curry piece. Okay, so we're just putting glue on that flap, and then this is the same width, so we're going to line it up along all three edges over there. Be careful here, you only want glue on the flap, you don't want glue on that part, because we want it to be able to lift up. Okay, that looks alright to me. And then let's just see where these daisies are going to go. So we'll put, I don't know if there's a right way up or a wrong way up for the daisies, but I think that I like them with those sort of smaller petals going down. And you can see what I was saying, these two didn't stamp exactly when I was filling them in, but they were close enough that it was forgiving, unlike the other one that I stamped, which was just hopelessly off. Okay, oops, this has shifted. Let's see if I can just shift it down. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go with that's okay. Now we're taking the other piece, which would have your other piece of white on it for your writing panel, and we want to stick that here, but we just need to watch because we want it put down so that this piece is covering that. Okay, so when this is closed, we want our note hidden away. So just, I want it roughly there, and that looks good. That's underneath that, and hope that it's sort of straight. Alright, so when I'm closing, it's hidden, but when I open it, it's going to flap over like that. Alright, so that's our card, and like I say, I think that they're quite cute. Let's open that one because at least it's completed. I will finish this one and I will put up a photo of the card with the inside done. So thank you for joining me today. It was one of those days where things didn't quite go the way that I wanted it to, but at least you can see the card and you've got an idea of how to make it. So have a good week, and I will see you again next week. Until then, bye.